Are you your own background on your phone?
No. The background on my phone is an anime girl.
As in Ram?
No.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I don't either. It's just very pretty to look at.
You don't even know who it is?
No, I'm pretty sure it's like an original. Like I went to whatever, dude. I don't judge you on your anime backgrounds.
Welcome back to the No Big Banana Podcast. My name is Charles.
My name is Justin.
So I guess who I really like in Burn the Witch.
Who do you really like in Burn the Witch?
Guess.
I'm gonna guess the blue-haired guy.
No. Okay, I like Ninny.
The busty one?
The blonde one.
Oh, of course you do, yeah.
She's the best.
Yeah, of course. She's great.
I love her attitude. I don't like the Baldo guy or whatever his name is.
Oh, the dumbass with the
guy,
dog?
That guy is a predator and a fuck up.
He's not. I wouldn't say he's a predator.
Well, a little bit.
I mean, he's kind of handsy. But
he has predatory vibes. And he's also just like a fuck up. Like, from the beginning.
Yeah, he's just
like,
a fuck up.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, man. You've got one thing. You're doing one thing, and it's taking care of this dog that's like part dragon.
So I like the dragons too. They're scary.
Yeah, they're really cool looking.
That big white one was scary. And then the one they fought in the city.
Cinderella? No?
What?
Never mind.
No, it was a white dragon they fought in the city, and then she cut its head off.
Oh,
but then
yeah,
it still was attacking.
Yeah.
Spooky, scary stuff.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Forget I said it.
I recommend to check out Burn the Witch.
It's fun.
It's really cool.
It's cool. I'm excited because like Taikubo deserved a second shot after Bleach fucked up. You know how to bring him back the finalists, and I was like, dude, at this point, you drug it into the ground.
I feel like Bleach is like your ex. Like you talk about Bleach like it's your ex because you're like,
man,
look, I'm not bothered by it, but I'm gonna spend the next few minutes talking about it passionately.
I'm willing to admit that I'm super bothered by it. It's because I really loved it. And like it just went downhill real fast for me, and then I just never recovered from it. So like for me, it was like the first season was like awesome, and I was like really into it. And I also got into it when I was younger, so it was like one of the first shows that like I started binging, and then it just started plummeting downhill, like in terms of quality, just like rocket.
Quality of story?
Yes, and quality, and just quality. In general, just quality.
Did it do like a One Punch Man thing where like
no? I would have
got lazy.
That would have been okay. I would have been okay. I would have been more okay with that than the slow, gradual, just festering like blister.
Oh my!
That is
God.
Like the final.
I wonder.
You watch the Fullbringer arc and you tell me that is not the fucking worst thing you've ever seen in your life. At one point, he has a swastika as a weapon.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Japan means something
else.
They don't give a shit.
Look, it means something else in different cultures. I get it, but like
Japan probably is like the leading country in not
developing swastikas.
What? No, the leading country in not giving a fuck about like being politically correct.
Sure, yeah.
Japan more than anybody will fucking... Dude, I saw a clip the other day from this movie called Killer Sushi.
Oh my God.
It came out in like 2013. It's fucking unbelievable, dude. The sushi is just like eating people. It's like cutting their faces and stuff and like cutting off their tongues.
Finally.
And I was just like... Only Japan would do some shit like that, and then not only not apologize for it, but like
double down on it.
Yeah, be like, yeah, so what?
Yeah, fuck you.
You don't like? We'll just make another one. We'll just make 15 of them.
Yeah,
that's like with the anime characters. Just like, hey, this guy's a straight up pedophile. Like, and we'll make another fucking series with a pedophile in it too.
We'll make him stronger,
creepier.
Yeah.
Speaking of creepy type predator characters, Fire Force.
Oh yes, I don't like I don't like him.
Uncle Reaper.
No, I don't like him.
Dude, when he was like, you have to admit though, it was funny when he was like just talking about abusing children, and he's like, "Well, just doing my job." I was like, "Whoa, dude, that's like the most Nazi answer there is." Like
the one thing I really
just part of the work, guys.
The one thing I do like about him though is the way that they like fuck with his eyes. Like when he like goes out into the street and like the girls are there, spooky. And then like he like notices that there's some weak ones in the group, and then his eyes like turn into a sickle and slide around on his face.
That reminded me of
the
that reminded me of the bad guy from Monsters Inc. for some
reason.
Also,
I gotta say, Inka's looking pretty cute in her pillar outfit,
white clad.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's kind of cute.
And then New Girl. I like New
Which
Girl
one's New
a
Girl?
lot. The Hajime girl with the Dominions.
Oh, yeah. Dominions.
What the fuck, dude?
She was like, well, they're called Dominions.
Yeah. Well, that was so gangster because she was so strong with just the one.
Yeah, that was the perfect.
And then she has the army. And then, of course, she has, like, the big giant one.
Well, it was just one of those great moments, like, because I know you talk about it all the time when the villains are like, oh, ha ha ha, like, oh, you thought, oh no, I had like 100 more behind me.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a very big deal. Where
it's like when Madara, like when he drops like the meteor on the army, and they spend like half an episode trying to like push the meteor back up so it doesn't crush everybody. And he's like, oh, that's funny. What are you gonna do about the second one? And then the sky opens up, and it's a duplicate of the first one. It just hits the like. So good.
Well, that's what's so funny about Demon King, right? Is that it just leaned into that to the most extreme. You thought killing me could kill me?
Yeah. Oh, you guys were able to barely stave off the one. How about the other exact duplicate of it that I'm also sending on top of it?
Yeah.
So good.
But it does make for funny stuff.
Yeah.
And then she also produces fire out of her feet.
Yeah, although
like
I think that's more of like a, because I think she does it out of her hands and feet. So I think it's like an extension thing.
I wonder if did she do it out of her hands?
Well, she controls the puppets using her hands.
Yeah.
I just, that made me assume that she was like sending currents through the, because she's sending firepower to the little robot.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be, that would
clearly
make her anomalous though in that way, right? Because
she would be a
third gen?
Third gen?
Yeah, but aren't most third gens limited to like, like Burns can't shoot fire out of his feet or even his hands. It's all out of his eye.
Well, I think he's a little bit different because he's also a pillar.
That's true.
So I think it's just kind of like a...
Well, how do we know that she's not one? Well, no, she's not one.
She's not going to be one.
She works for Hajime.
Yeah. Plus, like, they would have been like, oh, there's another one. Dope.
Yeah.
Because they clearly have a way of, like...
How gangster, too, was it that Victor just, like, decked that guy and then was like, I'll be winning this nerd fight?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck yeah, Victor.
And then he, like, pulls on the collar. He's like, I guess I'll roll with these bitches.
Yeah,
I was like, hell yeah, bro.
And he's got a little fucking bat.
Fuck it.
He's got like a bat radio.
Yeah, and then
like,
just decks the shit out of another
all
nerd.
Right, And how funny was it that he was like, let's go. And then they break in and he's like,
I didn't even say what happened yet.
Let's go. It's like, yeah, you did, dude.
Yeah.
Because Obi was chomping at the bit already. As soon as he got that signal, he was like, all right, break the fucking door down.
And Vulcan, too. Vulcan fucking hates Hajime, so.
Yeah. It's so smart. Anime does a really good job, I think, about like establishing that kind of power immediately. At least this one does, because like when you saw that little thing in the road and then he hits it and it's like,
and it just flips it. Yeah.
And it makes you really feel how strong it is, especially when they fight it, so that when she reveals that she's got an army of them, it's like super
Although
scary.
I wonder if like, I mean, I'm sure that like this isn't the case, but there's a part of me that would think that like she's got to divert all that power to all of them, so they can't all possibly be as strong as a singular one.
Didn't they? How did they get destroyed?
The plasma bitch.
Oh yeah, she made short work of them too.
Just wrecked them all in a second.
Which is like, she's strong, but like in this, in the mental tier list of strong, like,
again, I think it's because like she fucked with the circuitry that was like sending them power.
Yeah,
which made them pop. So that's why she was like, well, I guess I'll take these gloves off then and be like, Super Dominion.
I wonder if that
and then I had like the total like just like the opening up of the gateways and then like the
I wonder if the
launch pad sequence,
the marionette strings that she was holding were like a particular metal that
I'm sure
conducts heat efficiently.
Yeah, it's got to be
something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the kid turned on.
Yeah.
The pillar, the Adola burst activated. So that's pretty neat. And
They're
then
doing a good
Shinra, it was really gangster when Shinra fucking burst into that lab.
Yeah.
After Victor hit the guy and was like, all right, let's do this. And then you had the scene with them running in and getting hit by running into the Dominion, and then like smash cut back to Shinra, just like feet first into the lab. Like,
yeah. All right, where is he?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show. They do a really good job of like continually like, because there was a part of me that was really, I was concerned that, especially after the whole like whatever that lady was with the tabernacle, that it was
evangelist.
No, not the evangelist, but the negative evangelist.
Oh, the one that like was talking to him in his brain.
The lady in black, the one like when they were with Scott and all that on the other continent.
Yeah.
I thought that was like kind of the season finale type thing. And then when it was like Joker and Benimaru, I was like, okay. And then they cut that off, and I was like, well, then now what the fuck are they gonna do? Like,
yeah.
And then it was like, okay, they keep like continually kind of cranking it up a bit, which is nice.
Yeah, it is cool that they do seem to be raising the stakes, because like up to this point, I think that everything has been kind of like Amaterasu was the turning point, or not Amaterasu, but the other place. Yeah, that was the turning point in the sense of like this just went from sus to like, okay,
emergency meeting.
Yeah. And now they're like actively like, all right, well, it's not the Temple of Holy Soul, so Hajima's next. Let's go.
Let's do it. Honestly, like One Piece, he's been in the excavation camp, and then like Big Mom's there, but she's like lost her memory, so she doesn't know who the fuck he is, and she's like going there with like the distinct interest in getting red bean soup, because that's all she does is eat. Like when she gets hunger pangs, she just goes and like destroys continents, like looking for like flapjacks. Not kidding. Like there's an entire arc in the first where they have to like get this wedding cake and like they put it on a ship and guide her away from like where she's just destroying her own village.
Oh damn.
Like she's just a giant woman who will just like crush through anything in her way. So like Luffy's in the middle of like this excavation camp. He's got this thing on his neck that'll like cut his head off if he leaves the ring or whatever, like because they're doing like this sumo of death thing. And then she just like rips the door off of the excavation camp and is like, I heard there's red bean soup here. I'm here for the red bean soup. And then just starts laying waste to everything. And then Luffy accidentally admits that he ate all of the red bean soup. And she's like, oh. And he's like, oh, she doesn't know who I am? Oh, that's right, because I'm in disguise. And they're like, no, that's not it at all.
No,
he's like, but I'm actually
amnesia,
samurai.
Luffy.
Yeah. Well, she got drowned like at the beginning and then just washed up on this whole. But like even that, it's like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen now.
Man, I cannot wait for more slime.
Yeah, and Shield Hero.
Shield Hero is so fucking good.
Going back over, like, because I've been watching Cheyenne, it is clear that Raphtalia is best bae. She is objectively like the best waifu you could possibly have. Like, in any of the scenarios, she kicks ass. She's sweet. She's cute. You can always tell what she's thinking because like her tail wag or like fluff out. I like her more than Rem. I do.
Oh yeah.
I don't put Rem on like this weird like iconic pedestal that you seem to think I do.
You act like you do.
Because it pisses you off.
Only because you know that I like Ram.
Yeah, because it pisses you off.
That's why I like Nini. Nini is that way. Nini is Ram like. Where she's like, I
don't like the black-haired girl.
Just do the thing. Noelle?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I really like the design of the dragons. They are spooky as shit. The one girl, Macy's dragon, was so scary.
The pink one?
Yeah.
With like the feathers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was so creepy.
Forget I said anything earlier.
I was like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah. They have a bunch of different... There was like a weird lull there for a second.
Well, I was just thinking of the whole like reverse London concept is cool.
I told you, right? It's pretty dope.
I told you
it's witches in reverse London with dragons.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I was like kind of half awake. I was kind of zoning in and out watching the second one. Yeah, I think I'm still trying to figure that out.
What?
The whole like reverse London thing. And this this Baldo guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Baldo?
Is it Baldo?
I think so.
Well, I don't like him.
Yeah, well, get used to it because I think he's one of the main characters. Although he's like a...
But he's like a noob, right? Because them
he is not a magic user like in any sense of...
Well, the first time you see him, he's fucking riding on his dragon dog.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, man.
What are you doing,
What's
buddy?
going on here?
He's like, I don't know. You gotta
This
upset.
is against the rules. Yeah. You can't be doing this. There's more to that, too.
Well, that's why they put a bounty on his head.
He'll end up being like the OP dragon.
Well, that's why they put a bounty on his head. Because dragons are drawn to him because he's dragon-clad.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like a magnet for it.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah. Why wouldn't they execute that guy?
They're trying
to. Like immediately.
That's why they put the hit out for him.
Yeah, I know, but I mean...
And then immediately sent people to go carry that out.
I know, but it just seems that like...
It wasn't fast enough for you?
Yeah, well, it seems that I would have hoped that he would have been dispatched quicker, right? Because this is a world...
Well, as soon as it popped off, as soon as they found out, they're like, all right, let's get rid of this guy.
This is a world wherein, like, witches are on, like, constant monitor of dragons. You would think that it's like, hey, here's a guy that attracts dragons.
Once they found out...
Let's kill him immediately.
It's not like he's just been, like, chilling, biding his time. Biden.
Oh, God. Well, I wanted to start with anime because I wanted to ease into politics.
Well, you should watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, what is
Jujutsu
that?
Kaisen?
You said it's like Mob Psycho?
It's a little bit different. It's unique. I really like the art style of it. There's a lot of really cool characters in it. It's like there are curses in the world. The only people that can exercise curses are other curses. Like it starts out and he's like this kid's part of like this psycho like cult group or whatever.
Mob?
Like, well, no, they're like one of those like psychic groups. Like they try to like like search for things that are spooky, and they think it's cool to get scared and like go check out. Like
they're like paranormal investigators.
Right. But it's like a group at school, like a high school group.
Oh, that's fun.
So then he like actually
Isn't there an anime about that?
I am sure
You've shown me one. It's
are you talking about like Ghost Stories?
Yeah.
The one that's got the really hilarious dub. Anybody who's listening who hasn't seen the dub of Ghost Stories needs to watch the dub of Ghost Stories. It's the best. Because like they literally like there was no interest in it at all in the United States. And then when they finally did get the dub rights, they were like, "Fuck it, let's just have fun with it."
It's the official dub.
It's the official
dub,
but
it feels like you're watching DBZ abridged.
Yeah, it's the same kind of energy where it's like she's like constantly talking about how they're sinners and like that her mom can't go to heaven because she's gay. Like straight up, like no bullshit. It's hilarious.
So more about Jujutsu. What is
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
So like he ends up like, and this is all within like the first 5 minutes or so. Like the guy, like the main character guy, his like grandfather dies or whatever. But he had like given like his cult club group members this like cursed item, and this guy shows up looking for it, and is like, dude, like really? And so then like it cuts to the group and like they peel off the protective seal on it, and it's like this withered up little witch finger, and then all of a sudden like just curses flock, and then it just becomes like these monsters, and then like they're eating the people in the group or whatever. So he runs in and he's like trying to save him, and he's like the thing's trying to fuse with that finger because it's the strongest curse around, so it's trying to get stronger. So he like kicks it and then like eats the finger, and then turns into the cursed guy.
Wow.
And then, second episode, it becomes apparent like what the whole goal of the thing is. It's like there's like this group, and he is now, because he's the only living thing that can assimilate with it, he's supposed to go now find all the other 19 fingers and eat all of them as well, so that way they can kill him afterwards to get rid of it completely.
Oh my God.
And they're like, so you can either die right now, or you can collect all these fingers.
Why are there 19 more fingers?
Because he has 4 arms. Because the guy initially had 4 arms. Of course. Yeah. He's a demon.
Wow.
2-headed, 4-armed.
Then it's really 16 fingers, right?
Oh my God, 4 thumbs? Get the fuck out of here. Whatever.
That's really creepy.
It's a cool ass show.
I'm on board, I guess.
I like because like
check it out.
Like the mouth of the guy will come out of the side of his face, and he's like, "Shut up!" and I'll put his hand over it, and then the mouth will appear through his hand. Continue talking.
Oh,
he's like, "Shut up!"
That's awful.
Yeah, he ends up getting like these slits under his eyes that open up as other eyes.
I have been watching almost exclusively Among Us clips. People playing Among Us and Sai Kuno. What's up, guys? It's Sai Kuno here. That's what he says at the beginning. It's really funny. He is very much just like the protagonist of an anime. It's really crazy.
He does seem like one, yeah.
He's just nice and wholesome.
Yeah, but like...
And he says shit like when they're playing Among Us, he'll be like, he'll get killed and he'll be like, oh, well, I died. But that's okay, because what's important is that all of my friends had fun. And that's what matters. And it's like, yeah.
You're not selling him very well.
Dude, it's really cool.
You're making him sound like a fucking nerd.
Yeah, but he's not that way.
Just a fucking like...
But he's that way. He's that way earnestly.
Like he's a fucking... like he's a... What are the... Like a Mormon.
It comes
like he's like Mormon, and he's like, well, we had friends and had fun, and there's also fruit punch.
Yeah.
And nobody's gay.
But that's what it's like. It's like he's very honest.
Yeah.
His wholesomeness is one that is... I like him. I think he's fun. A crush on him. He's
that's okay.
He's funny. And he covers his mouth when he laughs.
I have a crush on Mark Rebier.
Yeah, you do.
I'd fuck him.
We got to get in touch with that guy. I've got to get that guy to make me a beat.
I'm trying to get Cheyenne. Cheyenne, by the way, I'm trying to get her to draw
stuff
for the No Big Banana podcast.
If you're listening to this, look,
I will make sure that she listens to it.
Timestamp. This is like 23 minutes in.
I will make sure she listens to this.
Fucking draw Cheyenne. Stuff. I am
your boss.
I have tons of stuff. that you could draw that I need drawn.
Well, I told her to start with like a No Big Banana as you and me as bananas for the No Big Banana.
Oh, that'd be fun. Contest. I want Studebaker Peppercorn. Oh, there's a fan that's drawing a rendition of Studebaker as Donatello, and he's like holding a pizza and a banjo, and he's got a top hat on. It's pretty fucking dope.
Is it artsy?
Because no, it's a different guy. I played Among Us with Artsy the other day though. I'm gonna try and play tonight.
Yeah.
But it's worse than D&D, getting people together for it. It's I
don't think it's worse than D&D.
I have never seen anything be so popular and then people turn into just ghosts when you mention it. When you just bring it up, it's just like cockroaches scattering when the lights come on. It's so crazy to me. Everywhere I fucking look, it's like Among Us, 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 Among Us. And then I'm like, hey, anybody want to play Among Us? And it's just like, cut to just like zooming out me just like in an empty room in an empty field on an empty continent.
It turns like into
in space.
It turns into you being like the John Travolta from Pulp Fiction, where you're like holding your jacket, like
just looking around like. So, all right, I guess nobody's interested. And then I fucking go to sleep and then wake up and then hear stories about like, oh, we were playing this crazy match yesterday. I'm like, oh, funny.
I wasn't playing.
Okay, I think, you know what it is? I don't think people like playing with me. I think that's part of the problem. Which would explain why when people actually do play with me that I die first fucking always.
Oh.
I always get killed first.
You want to talk to me about dying first?
No, I always get killed first.
That is bullshit. Ask Justin. He makes it a point to kill me first every round that he's imposter.
That's Justin. Every imposter kills me first. That's the thing.
I think it's also because
I've spent more time as a ghost crewmate in that game than any other thing.
Get off my dick about that shit. So do I. You also like follow the herd, like wherever the group of people are going, you follow. I'm just like, I'm going to go do my tasks because I know I'm going to die in like 5 minutes.
That's not true. That's not true at all. I stay by myself. That's why I get killed.
Yeah, sure.
I do stay by myself. When I'm crewmate, I'm a task master, bro. I don't have time for anything else. And you know what? I've decided I'm not going to play like that anymore. I'm glad that this got brought up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've decided that I'm not going to be
move past your trauma.
I'm not going to be a fucking task doer anymore.
You're just not going to
I'm just going to hang around and watch people and observe and try to win by ejecting imposters.
So you're just not going to actually play the game.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to hold off on my tasks. And
you think that that's going to make people want to play with you?
If it gets down to the wire, well, people don't want to play with me already. So that's not going to hurt my chances.
Cry me a fucking river.
So I am going to... Oh, I played with River the other day, too. Hey, what's up, River? River's probably out there listening. Cool. He's fun to play with, too. He's
what's up, River?
Scary Nobody's scarier than Olivia.
Yeah.
She's the scariest imposter ever. And then one night, she was imposter like 6 matches in a row.
Yeah. I've gotten imposter literally 4 times.
Dude, the last time I looked, and the stats are different now. The last time I looked, I'd played 90 games.
Fuck.
15 of them, I was imposter.
I still think my percentage is worse.
So, I don't know. I think it's about the same.
Or 15 to 90, like, you would have to do 8 for 90.
Yeah, I guess.
So, comparably double as often. A little bit more than double.
But I've also played... I've played a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than double.
45 doubled is 90.
Yeah.
And I've played 48 rounds, and you played more than 90.
Yeah.
You get imposter more than I do. I never get imposter. You know why? You know
but
why?
I still don't get it often.
You know what it is? The game is scared of me being imposter.
That's what it is.
It knows the power.
That's the most likely scenario.
Yeah. It's not just that I have shit luck with everything I try, including women.
So I'm going to... Oh, my
You want to sit here. You want to sit here.
Okay,
and like,
Natsuki
oh my God.
Subaru.
Oh my God.
I'm just
Nobody
gonna
wants
call
to
you,
play
I'm
with
going to
me.
change your name in my phone to Natsuki.
All right.
Because that's all
Nobody
that
wants
was.
to play with me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No one's ever being my friend.
Yeah, well,
Nobody ever wants to be around me.
Yeah, well...
God.
I'm like a dancing monkey, right? Like it's cool to see for a minute, but like you wouldn't want to hang out with that all day. You know?
Do you recognize that I'm at your house?
Yeah, I know. Like for an hour to do the podcast, but like I could only be,
Oh my God.
It's
God.
short bursts.
I sit around and I watch your fucking videos.
I'm
and
amazed
I like
that people listen to this fucking podcast.
It's because of me.
Exactly.
That's not.
If it was just me, there's no way.
Oh.
There's no way.
You think people would listen to just
me talk for an hour?
Let me talk about the intricacies of why I hate Bleach for 1 hour.
Yeah, there's an audience for that.
No, there's not.
More so than whatever ramblings I'm going on about. Look, all I'm saying is, regardless as to whether or not
we're
people
both great
play
people.
with me,
we are both great people.
if and when I get
Calm
the
your
opportunity
tits.
to play Among Us ever again,
Stop.
I'm
Stop.
going to listen.
Stop. I've listened.
I'm telling you what I'm doing.
Is it more
It's
crime?
gonna be. I'm gonna be detective. I'm gonna be Detective Yahzick. Detective Yahzick. All I'm gonna do is watch people's
politics. Let's talk about politics.
Speaking of weird, spooky,
Let's talk about politics.
Weird, spooky cults that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Do you find it interesting or
Thank God we're off this topic. What?
that one could be immune to and also contract a disease?
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't our Lord and Savior Donald Trump.
That's true.
He is the Great White Hope after all.
It is. We do have to consider him as the second coming.
Yeah.
So with that said, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're immune to the disease that you contract. Also, I saw a photo.
Plus, like, listen, man. Okay, if we're being completely honest, do you think anybody wants to stay with Donald Trump for more than like 3 days, 4 days tops?
Oh, dude.
Look at his cabinet turnarounds.
It's got to be crazy.
You got to be a real
tickets
bootlicker.
to just be in the room.
Oh, yeah.
To just like hear a conversation.
Just masturbating, watching all this happen, watching democracy die, just like, oh, fuck yeah.
Just the idea of like how silly it all is.
Come on, finish
like,
democracy now already.
What was that movie, Road to Perdition? There's a scene in the movie Road to Perdition where this guy's smiling and he's got like this shit-eating grin on his face, and this guy's like, "Why are you smiling?" And he's like, "'Cause it's all so fucking hysterical." And it's like, wow. Oh my God.
It was not very professional of me.
No, it wasn't. In fact, it was the antithesis of professionalism. Although my phone's not off either, but I don't have to worry because nobody ever calls me.
Oh my God!
Anyway,
what's a horror movie you like? It's Halloween.
Let's talk about Halloween.
Yeah, what's your favorite Halloween movie?
Oh, dude,
because I've been watching a bunch of horror movies.
That's
lately.
tough. I'm the biggest fucking horror fan ever. I used to go up to Movie Stop once every week or once every 2 weeks and buy 6 to 10 bad horror movies.
I love that shit.
Just binge them. My collection is since whittled down to about 30, but I had upwards of 100.
What's your favorite Halloween movie?
I don't know, man. I like Halloween, as in Mike Myers.
Yeah.
But Jason's my favorite slasher, for sure. And Jason, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, that's the craziest one.
Sounds about right.
I mean, X was pretty insane.
I was going to say that one was the one that I was thinking of. When I think of like insane Friday the 13th movies, dude, I will never forget me and my friend, this is back in like middle school, high school days. We were like, we're going to go on a bender. We're just going to watch all of the classic great slasher flicks.
All in a row.
Yeah. So we got Nightmare on Elm Street, the first Friday the 13th, and Halloween.
First Friday the 13th dog shit because it's not even Jason.
I know, dude. That was what I was about to say. Like, we were watching it. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
There's also that scene where, like, it's, and we're kids, so we don't understand the difference. But, like the camera's in the bushes, and then all of a sudden a hand comes out of the way and pushes the bushes aside to get a better look. And I was like, did they just leave that in the film? Like, just someone, like the camera person just pushed the bushes out of the way to get the better shot?
There's a lot of that shit in like the 70s and 80s where it was just like people were high on drugs, man.
Yeah.
Particularly in Hollywood. So it was like some editor that's been in a room for 18 hours
it's
like
just gonna
on a
completely
coke
miss
bender
that.
is just
Yeah.
like, I didn't even see that frame, dude.
Yeah, fuck it. Sorry, man. Yeah.
There's
and then when we realized
shit.
that like Jason wasn't even in that one, we got like, oh, that's cool. The whole reason why we wanted to watch that one. Although
well, 2 is good for that reason.
Yeah.
Because it's his first. But I mean, I was the biggest buff, dude. Like all through high school in my early 20s, I was just like horror. Because the formula is what entertains me.
Oh, yeah. I really
as a writer, like, and you better fucking believe, and I'll say it here publicly, that before my career is over as a writer, I will put a 90-plus minute slasher movie together, and Justin and I will make it. We've been talking about it recently too. Like, I want one. So I had a concept for one a few like years ago called Roadwork Dead Ahead. That was about like a construction worker, ghost man, zombie killer guy.
Nice.
We've had another idea too, where like these guys get like It's they get like an ancient relic from Japan, and it like releases like a ninja ghost.
Ninja ghost? Jesus Christ!
Who's like an assassin.
I think
one of kills everybody.
One of my favorite guilty pleasure horror movies. I wouldn't even call it a guilty pleasure. I just went back and rewatched both Evil Deads, Evil Dead 1 and 2 recently.
Nice.
And I just love every time. I just love that shot. When he first gets because you're waiting for it the whole time, like because you know it's coming when Bruce Campbell gets the chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
And he like shaves off the shotgun with it, flips it around, puts it on his back, and then it just zooms in, and it takes like 30 seconds too long. And
yeah.
Groovy. It's the best.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Army of Darkness is like
Army of Darkness is probably my
S
favorite.
tier. That's I mean that movie's so
it goes
fucking
beyond,
amazing.
yeah.
Well, that's that, and that Jack of all trades. This is my boomstick. Like,
yeah,
that's my shit, dude. Any of the Evil Dead's, Army of Darkness, any of the fucking Romero zombie movies.
Oh yeah.
Or even any of the spinoffs like Diary of the Dead. Like those are good movies.
Yeah.
Like if you just want, the thing about horror is like you can't ask too much of it unless it's like a psychological thriller. Unless you're watching like,
I don't really consider that like a horror movie though.
Well, unless you're watching like King or Shyamalan, you're not. I feel like you're not really in it to get scared per se. So much
have a
as
hard
it's
time.
supposed to just like it's adrenaline pumping.
I have a hard time watching Pet Sematary strictly because the main lady is played by Tasha Yar in Star Trek: The Next Generations, and I fucking hate Tasha Yar.
I thought you were gonna say the Achilles tendon cutting scene.
No,
because that's a rough one.
No, it's just her. I could take like an hour of Achilles like tendon cutting.
Well, that was
5 minutes with that.
I watched somebody faint in Hostel when that happened.
Oh yeah, well that one was pretty bad.
That was rough.
That one was
in
a
the
pretty
theater. The person could tell. It was a guy who was like a few rows up behind us, and you could tell like everybody could tell that it was coming.
Yeah,
and so he was leaving the theater.
Oh, because he knew that
it was coming, and it happened while he was on the stairs, and he just fainted.
That's awesome.
On the stairs.
That's fucking awesome.
I was like, shit, dude. Is that guy okay?
What a glowing homage to that movie.
Yeah. So yeah, Eli Roth, if you're listening.
Eli Roth, I feel like he
made
gets
some
a bad
dude
rap
faint in the theater. Why?
I don't know. Like I feel like he's got like a particular unique like he's very clearly like motivated or at least like inspired by the horror movies of like ages past.
Yeah.
And wants to like rekindle that kind of like at least try to for a little bit there like rekindle the slasher flick.
I feel he's like the Coen brothers of horror. Yeah. It's always like a big exaggeration. I mean, if you look at Hostel, like
not any of the follow-ups.
No.
But I mean, you could say the same
no, but
about,
that
like,
just
the
turned into
Saw.
Saw.
Yeah,
dude. Can we talk about Saw? By
Sure.
the way, that is, I think, one of the larger cinematic disappointments of the last 20 years.
Oh yeah.
What happened with that series?
I mean, the first one was
fucking incredible.
So good.
And even the second one was not bad for what it was. Should have ended there.
The second one, is that the one where the people are in the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
The second one was fun.
Yeah, the second one was a good time.
Starting with 3.
Your son's in a safe place.
Starting with 3, it just became
literally in a fucking safe.
Just became a gore fest.
Yeah, it just became torture porn.
Yeah, it's the whole plot
not even good
line,
torture porn at that.
The whole plot line behind the first one was so good because
it was just this unique premise that was played out really well.
Yeah. And then it was and it answered itself.
Yeah.
In the plot, like it, not that it excuses the behavior, but it allows you to understand it on a level of like, oh, okay, so
shit.
This guy is punishing other humans for not appreciating life.
Yeah. And then he leaves.
That's a beautiful idea.
And then he leaves at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck yeah, dude.
And then even in the second one, with the girl doing it to continue his legacy.
Right. And she's even doing like the fake ones that
That's
can't
it.
do one.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Stop.
They're on
That's
like what?
It. And now it's like Saw 10.
Well, I think they tried to. Didn't they try to like recently reboot it, like as Jigsaw?
Yeah.
Because I think I remember.
I think
reading,
Jigsaw's coming out, and it's like in the universe, but it's not. I don't know.
No. Like it came out recently because I remember reading about it. Like the whole premise is that there's like it goes back to like Jigsaw's original torture house or like original like game, and one of the guys that survives is now doing it again. But he's never been brought up any of the times, even though there's like 8 different guys that have like jumped on the bandwagon at this point.
That
because after the girl, there's 2 other guys that continue along with it, and then there's the now the new guy who like started it over from the beginning and is now doing it again. And then like, yeah, it's just like, come on, man. Like,
it seems like, and it's another one of those things that you can tell that like it's lightning in a bottle. Like,
it's
can
like
you
Led
imagine
Zeppelin.
if
You ain't
you
gonna
would
get that again?
Can you imagine if they would have left it alone and it was just Saw and that was it forever?
I mean, it's still like
people would still bring it up and watch it on Halloween.
I mean, I still think there are people that do. I mean, I don't think that the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th that movies like detract from how good the first one is.
They do in a way, though.
I mean, like
The Matrix. There's another great example. There's another one that should have stopped after one.
You know what's funny though? Like, and this is back in like late aughts, early tens. There was a group of people online who took it upon themselves to take the second and third Matrix movies and remove all of the parts with Zion out of it. And so it becomes just a follow-up movie that just continues along and just finishes off only dealing with the Matrix stuff.
Yeah.
So it completely cuts out all of the Zion bullshit. There's no like orgy party. There's no like any of that weird shit. Like it literally is just the story of Neo and it actually like, because I remember watching it because I remember going to the movie theaters to see the third one and walking out like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Because at least the second one's not terrible. Because at least in the second one, like there's that cool moment with like the two ghost dudes that can like phase in and out of shit, and like they have that highway scene with like the
we're talking about the Matrix now.
Yeah, now I'm talking about the Matrix.
I was talking about Saw.
Yeah,
I don't remember what I said, so
no, you're good. Well, because I think it still applies. Like, because once you get to like the second movie, it starts to kind of like build into this weird like trying to take itself too seriously. Looking back on the Matrix, it's like there are a lot of better batteries you could make other than a human being. Like the amount of energy that it takes to keep it going, like just on its face, the premise is flawed. But like
the resources.
To set up that premise, it was just enough to make it work to where it's believable and you were enjoying the time that you had with the first Matrix movie.
Yeah.
Second one's decent. It gets a little bit too far out there, but by the third one, it's like they're trying to make this into a world that is just too. It just becomes too much of a convoluted bullshit like factory. Like it just doesn't make any sense. It just falls off. Like even in like the second one, when like he meets the architect and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is like the 8th time we've done this." It's like.
Yeah.
Now you're getting into like some weird like fourth wall breaking bullshit that we don't need.
I just feel like overall like original films have been not necessarily tarnished, but like pushed out of the way.
Oh, their legacy has been tarnished, yeah.
Because of sequels that were unnecessary.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how about like The Crow, right?
Yeah.
Like why the fuck did they have to make 5 of those?
Yeah.
The first one was fantastic.
It was awesome.
It was amazing. Just let it live in a bottle. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when I was a kid, like City of Angels and shit, like Crow was my shit. But like looking back, it's like you could have left that.
You could have just left
that one at the first one, and just
always give them wanting more. Don't give them too much so that they get tired of it.
It's important to know when to walk away, I think. That's why I have a lot of respect for stuff like Battlestar Galactica, because if they wanted to...
I've never seen Battlestar Galactica.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
It's so good.
I've also never seen Firefly.
Well, Firefly is its own nightmare, but BSG is so good. And here's the thing about BSG.
Exterminate. Is that the one?
No, that's Doctor Who.
Oh.
BSG.
I've only seen one episode of Doctor Who as well.
Is
so.
Clearly one with Daleks.
Yeah.
The Battlestar, like they knew that it was mapped out for 4 seasons.
Right.
They wrote 4 seasons. They shot 4 seasons, and then they shot a film, I think, that gets kind of plugged
Enterprise.
in for the beginning. But then that was it.
Right.
They didn't, if they wanted to, they could have run BSG for 10 years. But it wasn't a 10-year story.
I've also never seen Stargate.
It was a 4-season story. You haven't seen Stargate?
No.
What the fuck are you doing?
I know.
Just watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Just throwing your life away watching cartoons.
I will say, like, I think in the opposite boat, I think that Next Generation is one of the few examples of a show that, like, was only mapped out for, like, 1 season, but then, like, got infinitely better as it went along.
Yeah,
because like it was supposed to just be like an epilogue to.
If you would
series.
really like BSG.
I'm sure I would.
As a fan of Next Gen, like, so do you know anything about it?
Service? Not really. Is there a streaming service I can watch it on? Is it on Hulu?
We'll find out.
Okay.
We'll get you to see it. So the story is that it's in the future, and there's a movie. There's a movie that you should watch first because they made the movie later, but the movie is Life on Caprica before. So this is a future. People live on different planets. All of those planets are named based off of astrological signs. So there's like Tauron and Caprica. Caprica is like Earth. Caprica is like the biggest. It's the most populated. It's the most industrious. It's like it's Earth. So we created the Cylons. Humans created the Cylons. Those are the robots.
Okay.
And Cylons became sentient. They're advanced enough that they're their own race.
Gotcha, like Terminator.
We got in a fight with the Cylons.
Like Terminator.
Yep. And then they disappeared. They just disappeared into space. All of the Cylons just like left. Ah. So we're like, okay. So we set up a meeting to meet with the Cylons to discuss terms. And we've gone every year for the last like 30 years and they never show up.
Oh, that's not good.
So then the story opens with them showing up. And
gotcha.
Technically speaking, the series opens on the first episode is 33 because there are 33 seconds that you have to wait between jumps. So the Battlestar Galactica is the ship, the main ship that you're on. And they
Stargate.
They jump through light speed. From like one place in space to another, but the
Enterprise.
But the engines and stuff have to cool down for 33 seconds before they can jump again, and they're being attacked by Cylons
in that 33-second window.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So they appear, and then they've basically got to brace their shit for 30 seconds while they're attacked by Cylons before they can jump again.
Oh shit!
And it's really like tense, high energy, like right out of the gate. But what happens before that is that Caprica gets destroyed, and all of the other planets are subsequently destroyed by the Cylons, so that the last remaining people are on the Battlestar Galactica. So the last people that we know of in existence, and you find out later that there's other people that made it off other planets.
Yeah, those colonies are like people fucking each other.
But for the most part,
people are gonna fuck.
Humankind is on Battlestar Galactica, and Laura Roslyn, who is the Secretary of Education, becomes the president because she's the closest in line. Everyone before her is dead.
I thought it was Betsy DeVos.
She's like, no, that's a different kind of nightmare future.
Gotcha.
Laura Roslyn is the best, dude. She's so great.
I didn't like. It's just I don't know. Like for me, like any commanding officer holds no weight in my mind against Picard. So like I forget who it is on Deep Space Nine.
I don't know, man. William Adama, Battlestar.
Oh, I'm talking about Star Trek in the Star Trek universe.
Oh well, yeah.
Nobody is as
no way, dude.
Nobody Picard even comes close.
Picard's S tier commander.
Yeah.
S tier captain. Adama's the shit though. You would like him. And then EXO Saul Tigh. Saul Tigh's dope as fuck too.
Let's check it out. It sounds like something I'd be into.
Katie Sackhoff. She plays her name's Starbuck. That's her call sign. She's a bad bitch. Okay. She's a fighter pilot. They fly their jets or their ships are called Vipers. She's a Viper pilot. And she fucks shit up, dude.
She fucks.
Yeah, she's really bad.
Shit up.
But here's the cool thing. There's an important thing that I left out up to this point. Cylons now have developed themselves to look like humans. So you can't tell that they're humans.
They're like Reploids.
And some of them...
What the fuck is the thing I'm thinking of?
Reptilians?
No. I forget. Whatever.
What they look, some of them you can't tell, and some of them
I'm thinking of from I realized what it was. I was thinking of I lost it again. God damn it.
Some of them are sleeper agents. So some of them don't know that they're Cylons.
Shut up. I'm trying to think. God damn it. It's that one like super popular one like
Stargate?
No. It's fucking it's Blade Runner.
Oh,
Blade Runner
okay.
replicas.
Okay.
Replicates.
Yeah.
Blade Runner replicas.
Well, so in the BSG world there are 12 models. So they look like humans, but there's only 12 versions of them. But the problem is that some of them are among the crew.
Oh, they're among us?
On the Battlestar Galactica, yeah.
Full circle.
So, and they're sleepers, so they don't know that they're Cylons.
They're like Russian agents?
And they'll turn on. Like throughout the series, a couple of them turn on and then just start killing people. It makes for a really dope storyline when you're like, you as the viewer. It's like playing Among Us. You don't know
who the imposter is,
who Cylons or not, and it gets revealed so beautifully over the years to where like it gets down to where there are 4 left. And you don't know who they are. And then there's a scene when all 4 of them are in a room and they're all just like looking at each other because they know that they're all Cylons. It's so good.
Oh, shit.
You should definitely check it out. It's only like 80 episodes. There's like 4 seasons and they were
I'll
like
burn through that in like
20
3
episode,
days. Are you kidding me?
20-hour-long episode seasons. It's so good. And then there's one dude, there's one guy, Gaius, and he's just like, oh, you'll love Gaius. He's like he ends up ultimately being like a cult leader, basically. Like he becomes like this
Donald Trump.
like, yeah, kind of a little bit. Yeah. But it's similar to anime. There are a lot of lovable characters to be had.
That's part of the reason why, like, my guilty pleasure anime, I don't think I've talked about it yet. Have you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho?
I don't know what that is.
It is 90s, up and down, all over the place.
Okay.
It is so good. It is so fucking good. Like, you know the character, like you've seen some of the characters before. You just, it's one of those ones where it's like, it is such trash.
What's it called?
Yu Yu Hakusho. Y-U-Y-U Hakusho.
Oh, it came right up.
Yeah. He is the second best Vegeta.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It's my guilty pleasure one.
Gene Starwind.
I actually don't feel bad. It's not a guilty pleasure.
Do you like Outlaw Star?
The anime? Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool live action movie.
Don't. Because someone's going to do it and they're going to fuck it up.
Oh, did you see that people are upset about Gal Gadot playing Cleopatra?
Why?
Because Cleopatra was Greek, I guess. Actually, here's what's really funny. People are upset that Gal Gadot is playing Cleopatra because Gal Gadot is Israeli, and in their opinion, Cleopatra is Arabic. But that's not true.
No, yeah.
Cleopatra was Greek.
Yeah.
So it's this weird, like, it's this weird outrage thing going on Twitter right now of like some people being upset for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's really bizarre because I saw somebody pretty accurate. I can't believe they would get an Israeli to play an Arab, and I was like, kind
of wrong on both counts.
Look, don't be mad at me. I don't want to be the guy to break this to you, but Cleopatra's white as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why do you think? Like,
at least Mediterranean.
Of course, white people move. Of course, that's white people shit. Like, her people are starving and she's high on heroin. Like,
she goes to an area and just fucks shit up.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. But, I mean, whatever. I really don't give a shit. I mean, I need another Cleopatra movie like I need another fucking Tarzan retelling.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you're not going to get it right, just stop doing it. How about that?
Like, that's the thing.
Can we stop making Batman, please?
By the
Jesus
way, Netflix,
Christ.
Can you stop trying to ruin all of the anime that I love and care about? If
with
you
their
fucking
live
touch
action.
Cowboy Bebop. If you fucking touch it.
I have to say, I was really disappointed to hear, because I didn't watch it.
Cowboy Bebop?
No,
I was gonna say, like,
the live action Death Note.
Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Which seems astounding to me because Defoe is a monster.
Yeah, they give him like 3 seconds.
That's so ridiculously stupid.
He's there like all of maybe 5 scenes.
Not only does that not make sense from just like a presentation standpoint, he's your fucking. I mean, maybe they couldn't pay for him to do more.
I think it's because because they have him in like that weird like costume shit. It probably costs a lot of money to animate him like that.
Well, I'm sure that it takes a lot of time also to get him suited up for it.
Yeah, they gotta hide his monster cock. Defoe's got a giant cock. I don't know if you knew that.
No, why would I know that? Have you like been in locker rooms with him?
You know it, dude. No, I was like, there's a movie that he's in called Antichrist, and like there's a sex scene in it, and I remember like there was an interview with the guy that made the movie, and they were like, yeah, I had to like package it up because it would have just, if we had to have him wear a fake one because it would have just confused the audience, and that's all they would have taken away from the movie is, wow, his penis is huge.
That's crazy.
So they actually had to like use a fake smaller one because Defoe's packing such heat.
That's really crazy. But I just, like, when I saw that he was going to be playing him, I was like, Oh, well, that's
perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. Have you watched Death Note?
Yes.
It's surprisingly good.
I enjoy the anime, and which is one of the reasons that I didn't want to watch the live action movie, is because I had my reservations, and then my wife watched it, and she's not a big fan of anime, so I felt that it would be a really good objective opinion, and she was like, it wasn't that great. And I was like, if you don't think that it's great, then I'm
someone
really
who's a fan
gonna
of
fucking hate
the
it.
original material, like the source material. It was the same with Fullmetal Alchemist, dude. Like, and that's what I'm scared about with them touching.
I saw one scene from that shit and was just like, this is awful.
Well, first of all, it's only 3 homunculi.
Yeah,
that's it. They just completely wash over the rest of it. Like the dude that like turns his daughter, like Tucker, I think his name is. He turns his daughter and his dog into like a fucking monstrosity, and then like Scar has to like put it out of its misery. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Have you not watched Fullmetal Alchemist?
Not in a long time.
There's like that whole scene where he meets like Ed and Al like meet this little girl, and she's got that big dog with her.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah,
her dad is like trying to like make homunculi. He becomes like one of the main villains of the series, and it's like he's literally just a pit stop to show the depravity of humanity.
Yeah,
in a world like that, like,
it makes me feel like I wonder if it's because they feel like if somebody that's a writer that's too close to the source material wouldn't be able to let it translate to live action, so they hire new writers. But
I think those
writers have no like point of reference for the source material.
Here's the problem though, like, and I understand this, and this is why I don't like hold it against them. I do, but like why I understand the way that it goes down the way it does is because like there is absolutely no way that you can convey in 96 minutes what a series did over the course of like 87 episodes. Like, you can't. You just can't do it. The only way you could possibly do it is if you did it in sections, like 3 or 4 movies. And there's no way that they're going to get the green light for all of that.
Right.
So like they have to like throw in a romantic interest to keep like younger kids interested, and they have to like make it all fit into one like neat contained little bubble, even though it's like people who look at it from the source material are like, what the fuck did you do? Yeah,
I think that's another thing too, is that there's like a particular way that American cinema is made, like from a formulaic standpoint.
Yeah, that they don't
like to your point of like, well, you've got a love interest, and then you've got the character.
It's like Winry. It's like Winry's in every scene, and it's like she's his fucking mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's his love interest, but she's also like at home.
And anime doesn't follow those rules.
Yeah.
I mean, there are animes where there's like no, I've watched
it'll be just like Brothers.
Watched 135 fucking episodes of Black Clover, and the closest thing that's referenced to romance is how Asta wants to marry Sister Lily.
Yeah, the nun. Yeah.
Like there's so much more story going on.
Of course, there are girls that want to fuck him, but like
but it's not even tertiary to the plot. It's like not even it's an afterthought.
Yeah,
it's like there's so much else going on that you're not even thinking about that. But like with American formulas for cinema, it's like,
there's got to be a payoff. There's got to be a romantic payoff.
That's what I was saying about horror. Why I love horror, like that classic 80s 90s formula of like, all right, you got the stoner guy, you got the girl that's slutty, you got the guy that's the real asshole, the like mousy book girl who's probably the survival girl. Have you seen Behind the Mask?
No.
Bro.
Like the one with Jim Carrey?
No. There's a movie
that
came out in like 06 or 07.
Do you remember that? Son of the Mask?
Yes.
How much
I tried to forget it.
Was?
It came out in like 06 or 07. It's called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And it's brilliant because it's made in such a way that it's about this girl who's a college student, and she wants to do an interview with a serial killer. Smart. Who is like a Jason, Freddy, Mike Myers slasher type killer, and she's interviewing him, and it's hilarious because it's set up like a documentary. So he's like, okay, we rolling? All right, great. So first thing that I like to do is get a good cardio workout in. Cardio is important because when somebody's running away from you, you want to make it look like you're moving like
as slow as possible.
Yeah, you want to make it look
right there.
Yeah. That's it. It's exactly that. And so then it comes to the night where he's going to kill all the people. And I guess that they're surprised that he actually kills people. I guess that they think that it's like this, like, oh yeah, it's a bit.
Oh, yeah,
like he, and then like he they're in the closet and he's like, all right, here we go. And they're like, okay. And then he goes out and fucking hacks these two teens that are having sex to death. And then just like comes back and he's like wiping off his scythe and he's like, all right, great, we got those two.
Did you get that?
What the fuck?
Did you need another angle?
Yeah, exactly. It's just really smart. It's a well done film. The other movie that I have a lot of respect for in the horror vein is Hatchet. Hatchet came out in 2006. And it's just like a classic kind of, first of all, it's set in New Orleans. And the name of the guy is Victor Crowley. And he was like, he got burned alive in his house or something. And so
remember House of Wax?
He haunts yes, Jesus Christ.
Where Paris Hilton gets stabbed in the face.
I will say
that movie had a crazy budget. That movie had like a $40 million budget.
Well, Paris Hilton was probably like 40% of that. Like, with whatever her fucking, what do they call those things? There's a thing.
Royalties?
No. There's a thing that it's called, like, I can't think of what it is. Comedians have them. They're like, I forget what it's called. It's like a list of things that they have to have, like yellow M&Ms and shit.
Like druthers.
Yeah, basically.
Like I need at least 3 men in my set.
That's what I'm saying. Like most of that budget was probably just to like get her what she needed on
which
set.
Which is hilarious. I just recently rewatched As Above, So Below. Do you remember that one?
No.
It goes into like Paris catacombs, but it like follows Dante's Inferno of like the 9 stages of hell.
Oh, interesting.
It was like
that would be a really cool film to see.
It was really good.
When did that come out?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's not that old, but it's not that new.
I would love to see like
it's in like that weird like maybe it's been 10 years, maybe it's been 20 years, maybe it's been 3 years.
Did you well, what I was going to say about Hatchet that I like so much is that they use practical effects. So which I have mad respect for.
Always better.
There's a scene where a girl gets her face belt sanded off. And it was all latex. It was all practical. And it looks so good. I was just like, when I found out that it was all practical, I was just like, this is one of the best horror movies made in the last 15 years.
I know that As Above, So Below was not practical effects because there's like, but it does a really good job. It's kind of like The Descent, where it's like half of it is just like The
Descent is such trash.
It is, but like it gives you that claustrophobia feeling, the entire time.
God, I hated The Descent.
It was that one.
I wrote the most scathing blog about The Descent.
Did you really?
Oh, dude.
What didn't you like about it?
It was so shit. It was like, and by the way, the guy in the paper gave it 4 out of 4 stars, and I was like,
oh no.
The only thing I think one of the lines I said was like, the only thing that kept me on the edge of my seat about this movie was my debating with myself as to whether or not I should leave and waste the $11 that I spent on the ticket.
I just remember like not like being really nonplussed with the entire thing, like especially the ending.
It was all just silly. It was all just like,
but like
Paranormal Activity type shit, where it's like, where's
Paranormal Activity wasn't bad. The first one's not bad.
It's like
the first Insidious. It's not bad.
It's resting on the laurels of the unknown. It's lazy. It's just like, we don't ever have to address what it really is because we'll never know. Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, that one sucked.
Yeah,
Blair
but
Witch
it was
Project.
So brilliant. They made so much fucking money on it. It's
I know,
so
but like
stupid.
just I do love in Family Guy when Brian is like the seeing eye dog and like the girl he takes her to the movie theater. And it's the Blair Witch. He's like, they're running. They're saying something about a map. They're running. Everybody's dead. Everybody looks pissed.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's so that their budget on that movie was like
$20.
No, dude, I want to look it up because the numbers are staggering.
No, but As Above, So Below, the only thing that really like stuck with me about it is just the claustrophobia of like being in the fucking catacombs like that. Like they just keep going further and further down because like, Dante's Inferno, like the only way out is through the bottom of the Inferno.
Oh, that was in 2014.
As Above, So Below?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It felt like one of those like forever ago. Maybe it was a decade ago. Maybe it was like 16 years. Maybe it was 3 years ago.
Okay. The Blair Witch budget was between $200 and $500,000.
That's insane.
They made $248.6 million.
Yeah, and as a result, started an entire fucking genre.
Paranormal Activity is crazier. It's even big. It's an even bigger discrepancy. Yeah, their budget was
$50.
$215K.
$5.
$215K. So first of all, the production was $15,000. The post work was $215,000.
That sounds about
right. They made $193 million.
Jesus Christ.
And again, to your point, like created an entire fucking
subgenre.
I mean, I mean, how many of them are? Five, six of them?
Yeah.
And they're all just like making millions of dollars.
The only one I ever saw was the first one. I didn't really give a shit after that.
I don't even remember seeing the first one. I think I saw the first one like after. I never saw it in theaters.
No.
I had no interest. I was like, this is lazy. And then of course,
it's
just
pretty
everybody
lazy.
goes to see it.
Yeah. Well, there's one of those ones where it was like, okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Well, some of it feels too like filmmakers taking advantage of shit that regular people don't realize, like, like just like really easy effects and stuff to do in post, and then people are like, "Oh, well, how did that?"
Yeah, when you put a
how
fucking
could that chair have moved by itself?
Yeah, when you put a fucking nightlight, you can get away with like a fishing wire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. It's pretty easy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I would recommend As Above, So Below, just because it was interesting, if nothing else. Like,
what's that one where the thing follows people?
The Thing? What?
It Follows.
Oh,
I think is what it's called. Do you remember that?
I do remember that one.
The one where like the thing just haunts you down.
It just follows you.
That's really scary,
bro. It's like it follows you and shit.
It's just
bro.
like it's constantly coming after you. And I will say, like, while we're on the theme of Halloween, as Halloween is around the corner, Lovecraft Country has been outstanding. Yeah, dude.
I do love me some Lovecraftian horror.
It's really fucking good. Oh, look at that. See, do you like this pumpkin?
I do.
It's flashing. It's Halloween is happening in my house, folks. Oh, I still have to watch the new Adam Sandler, the Herbie Halloween or whatever.
Herbie Fully Loaded?
Hoobie.
Hancock.
Halloween.
Hancock Fully Loaded.
Yeah, it's his new Halloween movie, but it looks pretty funny. So I hope everybody is doing okay out there.
Yeah.
The election's coming up, so I would recommend you go to a place and physically vote. I don't trust mailing votes. I just don't. I mean, if there were ever a time that I thought my vote would not be counted, it's one wherein I put it in the mail. So I'm going to a precinct to vote. I'll be voting early to get it over with.
You want to go together?
Maybe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and
you're not actually going to vote.
At No Big Banana. I am going to vote.
No, he's going to be like, oh yeah, no, I voted for Joe.
I'm going to vote early.
I mean, you couldn't tell because nobody voted for Joe anyway.
Send us emails at nobigbanana@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.